the story of the Titanic. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Rose. Rose was a wealthy girl of the upper class and was of the marriageable age, but only just barely. In another year or so, her ovaries would be too old and dried up for her to have any worth as a human being. Such was the life of a 17-year-old girl in 1912. Happily for Rose's mom, Rose got engaged. Her fiancé was named Cal, and he was really rich, and he looked like a minor character in Zoolander. He gave Rose a ginormous blue diamond necklace. But don't be fooled by the rocks that she got. She's still Rosie from the block. Because Rose was a millennial, she represented a fundamental break from her parents' generation. She thought we needed to bring our troops home from the senseless Moro War in the Philippines. She wanted to live for the moment, so she was totally down to take naked selfies with a broke hipster. This hipster's name was Jack. Jack took Rose to some killer dive parties with live music, and she was so excited to be with such a sexy bad boy that she drank too much and busted out some river dance moves, which she later regretted when she saw her Snapchat feed the next day. Jack even convinced her to bang him in the back of a Model T in the cargo hold. He was fond of telling Rose, "What happens in the Titanic stays in the Titanic." How right he was. Cal inevitably found out about Jack because of the naked picture of Rose, which she saved. Seriously, when will people learn? If you're gonna cheat and take dirty pics of yourself, you gotta delete that shit. At some point during all this, a ship hit an iceberg and started to flood with water. But nobody really cared because there was so much other drama going on with Jack and Rose and Cal. Anyone who's ever been through a cheating scandal knows what it's like. Friggin' aliens could be landing and you'd still be like, bitch, who the fuck is this? So Cal framed Jack and accused him of stealing the blue diamond necklace that he gave to Rose. The authorities conducted a thorough 6-second investigation into the matter. Specifically, they asked Cal, "Are you sure he's guilty?" To which Cal replied, "Yup." Jack was handcuffed to a pipe at the bottom of the ship, and it wasn't long before his room started to fill up with water. Thankfully, Rose showed up to help him. She grabbed an axe and took a few practice swings to show him how bad her hand-eye coordination was, and then screamed, "Here's Rosie!" and then chopped through the handcuff chains, Lizzie Borden style. But by this time, the ship was in serious trouble. It was sinking fast, and there were no more lifeboats. Cal had already evacuated, and there was nowhere else to go except into the frigid waters of the North Atlantic. Miraculously, Rose and Jack found an inflatable life raft, and Rose got on. "Help me up," said Jack, with relief. "Yeah, there's not really any room, sorry," responded Rose. "It'll be okay, just hold my hand." And like an asshole, Rose watched Jack slowly turn into a human icicle and sink to the bottom of the ocean. Rose never forgot Jack, and she never stopped being an asshole. In fact, when she was 100 years old, she went back to the site of the disaster and threw the priceless diamond into the murky depths, even though she could have just as easily used it to pay for the college education of her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. What an asshole. Come back next week, and I'll read you the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Cokehead.
Jasmine wanted a little adventure in her life. So she dressed up as a peasant and went out into Agrabah to go get some strange. She ended up loving her excursion.